After Wednesday's horrific events at the Capitol, many questions are still left unanswered. Why wasn't there a more robust security presence to begin with? And why did it take so long for backup to arrive? And will those who participated in the mob inside the Capitol all be held accountable? Here's CNN's Alex Marquardt.
This is the moment President Donald Trump launched the riot.
We're going to walk down Pennsylvania Avenue,
telling his supporters he'd have their back.
We're going to walk down and I'll be there with you.
Trump's family doing what they could to egg on the crowd.
We will never, ever, ever stop fighting.
We are in this fight to the bitter end.
This is Donald Trump's Republican Party.
And Rudy Giuliani literally talking about taking up arms.
Let's have trial by combat.
Then they get back into their cars and leave as the crowd, unleashed and fired up, makes its way to the Capitol. It isn't long before the rioters manage to get through the police line, overwhelming the officers and breaking through the barricades. The insurrection is underway.
Second floor.
Now, two major questions. Why wasn't security stronger? And who is this mob whose riot led to the deaths of 5 people?
There was a failure of leadership at the top of the Capitol Police.
Immediate blame is placed on the head of the Capitol Police, who defends his officers, saying they acted valiantly. But last night, he agreed to step down. The House Sergeant-at-Arms resigns as well, recognition of their failure to keep the Capitol secure and lawmakers safe. How valiantly the Capitol Police performed is very much in question. One officer takes a selfie with a rioter. Here, others are seen stepping aside from a doorway, allowing the rioters to try to get through. Moments later, a plainclothes officer shoots through the door, hitting a woman, an Air Force veteran, who dies. As the chaos grew, there were frantic calls to get support from the Pentagon, from the National Guard, from anyone.
I got a phone call from House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer, who was calling me saying that he and Speaker Pelosi and Senator Schumer were all together in an undisclosed bunker they've been spirited off to, some undisclosed location, that the U.S. Capitol Police was overwhelmed, that there was no federal law enforcement presence, and that the leaders of Congress were pleading with me as the governor of Maryland for assistance from Maryland's National Guard and state police.
Governor Larry Hogan says special riot police were on the way and agrees to send Maryland's National Guard. But he says that was held up by the Pentagon, which needs to approve. It didn't happen, Hogan said, for another 90 minutes.
In the meantime, we did not hesitate. We continued to mobilize and get ready so that if and when we finally got that approval, we could immediately move.
The Pentagon now defending itself, saying it offered assistance to the Capitol Police days before the January 6th riot, but was turned down.
We engaged with the Capitol Police last week and into the weekend. They confirmed to us after our request that they were going to come to us with any request for assistance on Sunday, 3 January, that they were not going to have any request for assistance for DOD.
The D.C. National Guard had been told by the mayor of Washington to be unarmed and only to help with traffic and the subway.
But so far, there has been no serious response by law enforcement.
For most of the afternoon, the rioters swarmed the Capitol, unchallenged. Not until nightfall do reinforcements finally help push the rioters back.
There is this long line of Metropolitan Police, so that's the Washington, D.C. police, who in the past half hour have slowly, methodically, peacefully pushed these Trump supporters back from the Capitol.
By then, the damage was done. Rioters got onto the Senate floor and up onto the dais, where Vice President Mike Pence had just sat. This one with plastic handcuffs, as another, with a smile on his face, snags Speaker Pelosi's podium. Congressional offices trashed. Congressman Jim Clyburn insinuating that rioters had been told where to find his unmarked office.
They didn't go where my name was. They went where you won't find my name, but they found where I was supposed to be. So something else is going on untoward here.
Another rioter told the New York Times that a Capitol Police officer directed him to Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer's office. In Pelosi's office, this man kicked his foot up on her desk. He has now been identified as Richard Barnett, arrested and charged with 3 federal counts, including theft of public property. Arrests and charges are pouring in, almost 100 total arrests for the week. West Virginia state legislator Derek Evans, who recorded himself storming the Capitol, faces criminal charges. The Justice Department says so far 13 people face federal charges. 40 were charged in Superior Court. Assault cases, firearms cases. One man charged had filled his red pickup truck with 11 homemade bombs, an assault rifle, and a handgun. The vehicle was found by a bomb squad near the Capitol. Future charges, the D.C. federal prosecutor said, could include seditious conspiracy, rioting, and insurrection. The D.C. police and FBI putting out photos of persons of interest, asking for help from the public to bring justice to those who brought such a dark day to America. Alex Marquardt, CNN, Washington.